Nasim comes up with a plan. She's gonna retaliate against the biggest video platform in the world. So she packs a bag, and in that bag, she includes a pew-pew. So she leaves her grandmother's house in San Diego and she starts driving north towards San Bruno, California, where YouTube headquarters is. 2 days after she leaves, Nasim's dad, who we'll just call Dad learns that Nasim is missing, like she hasn't been at her grandmother's house for a while. And Dad remembers how much she's been hating YouTube lately and how she feels they've been discriminating against her. And he gets worried Nasim is about to do something crazy. So he calls the police in San Diego to file a missing persons report. And he also tells them, like, I think my daughter's really mad at YouTube. So then police, they go out looking for her. And 3 days after Nasim has left her grandmother's house, police actually find her in Mountain View, which just happens to be near YouTube headquarters in San Bruno. And they find her asleep in her car in a Walmart parking lot. And they question her, and she's not doing anything illegal, she's just asleep. So they let her go. So then police call her dad to be like, we found Nasim, she's fine, so we let her go. And Dad's like, okay, but just a heads up, she's super pissed at YouTube. And then later that morning, Nasim drives to San Bruno, and she stops at a local gun range. And there, she spends a little time firing at targets and practicing her pew-pew. Once she's done practicing, she gets back in her car and drives straight to YouTube headquarters. And then she gets there, and she parks, and she walks onto the company campus. And then she steps into a patio area full of YouTube employees, probably on their lunch break. And that is where Nasim pulls out her pew-pew and she just starts blasting. Blam, blam, and people panic and they scream and they run away. I mean, it is absolute chaos. And then a bullet hits a YouTube employee and they fall to the ground. And then another employee is hit, and then another. Meanwhile, upstairs, other employees are looking out the window and they see that there's an insane person outside shooting people. So they all hide in a conference room and they call 911. But Nasim, she just keeps shooting. And eventually she's out of ammo. So she reloads and she starts firing again. Now, I'm not sure if she realizes that there's no getting out of this, or if maybe she's just satisfied with the destruction she's caused. But eventually she turns the pew-pew on herself and she pulls the trigger and unalives herself right there at YouTube headquarters. And by the time police show up, the chaos is over. Paramedics come and they take the 3 shooting victims away to the hospital, and one of them is in critical condition. But luckily, all 3 of the shooting victims survive, and they eventually made a full recovery. Wow, shout out to family-friendly content.